Hi guys, welcome to Full Time Devils. I'm Adam McCullough. This is tomorrow's transfers. Today, it's Tuesday night. We're bringing you Wednesday's headlines. The transfer deadline is approaching thick and fast. As you can see, United have made 4 signings: Lindelof, Lukaku, Matic and Zlatan, who also appears on the out list as his contract did expire in June. But United are still being linked with players despite the fact Jose Mourinho isn't convinced we will get a 4th signing. We're still being linked with players. And there's still a few players being linked with exits from the club as well. We are speaking about all of that today here on Full Time Devils. I'm Adam McCullough and I will be reading out your comments as well. So thank you for joining us. I can see Piotrek, who's joining us from Poland. We've got Rajiv, we've got Marcus Rashford, who I know that's the real one. We got Christopher Ferris, Christopher Williams, I Am King, Ryan and Chloe Music, Josh Bergin, Bilal, Mohammed, Danny J, and so many more in the comments. So thank you all for coming in, and I will be reading out your comments as I go through as well. If I miss out your comments, then I do apologise. I'll try and get round to as many as we can in between stories that we go through. The numbers are climbing as well. We've got close to 700 people in the live stream at the moment. So get hitting that like button as well. And if you're new to Full Time Devils, trying to hit 500,000 subscribers by the end of the season. So get hitting that subscribe button. Yes, Adam, it is Adam. That felt weird. And we got Ali from Lebanon as well. So get your comments in on where you at. Anyway, first story of the day. And I was tweeting about this earlier on my Twitter page. I've heard, because I read an article today saying Jose is determined to keep this player. So I was tweeting about it like, this is music to my ears. And then I get onto the internet tonight, look at all the stories that are coming through, and it's still persisting with the news that Andreas Pereira could join Valencia on loan. He's also been linked with a club out in Holland as well, which is a bit interesting, because why would we reject Valencia and then send him out to a team that's at a lower level in Holland? So when you look at this story, it's all a bit confusing at the moment. But Sport Witness, they're great, and they're saying everybody apart from one publication in Spain are reporting that this deal isn't happening. So there's still this one publication in Spain. Let me get their name. Sport Witness have provided it for us. It's Deporte Valenciano. Now, I've never heard of these guys. I don't know if you guys have, but let us know. And these guys are insisting that he will join Valencia on a 1-year loan. Now, in terms of Andreas Pereira, I'm a huge fan of this player. He's got massive potential. The only problem is, do we know if he's going to get football? If he isn't going to get minutes under Jose Mourinho this season, then send him on loan. And a place like Valencia would be ideal. But the news that has been coming out and the rumours that keep persisting are Jose Mourinho does not want to let him go. And to me, if Jose Mourinho does not want to let him go, then surely he's got a place for him in his squad. And surely that means he'll be getting minutes here. If that's the case, then I'm absolutely buzzing with that. But if he's not going to get minutes here, then he needs to go on loan, similar to Timothy Fosu-Mensah. The only difference with Andreas Pereira is he spent the whole of last season on loan. So for him to spend the whole of last season on loan and come back, he would have been expecting to come back and be a part of this squad. So I hope the news that Jose Mourinho wants to keep him is true. And I hope these guys, Deporte Valenciano, are looking stupid at the end of it for insisting that Pereira is joining Valencia. But that's just the way it is at the moment. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Samir's in the comments. We've got Aiden as well. Thank you for joining us, Aiden. He says, big up the 11 o'clock daily live streams. No problem. Can Pereira play at wing, says PB. He can play on the wide positions. He can also play more centrally as well. Jose Mourinho has played him more often centrally. Although he came on in, was it the Real Madrid game or the Barcelona game? It may have been the Barcelona game where he came on in a more attacking position. But against Sampdoria, he played where Matt has been playing this season. And in another game, he played even further back. He came on for Carrick. So he has been playing in various positions. And that's the ability that this player has. He's such a baller. He's got so much skill. He's got so much footballing brain that he can play in any position. And I really hope he gets an opportunity this season. Mystic Mac, says Javer. Mystic Mac is back with a bang. Afternoon, Angus. It's evening here, but afternoon wherever you are. FIFA King is in the house. He needs a good loan spell. Went Granada and got relegated. Not good enough, says Just Jerry. Now, I disagree with that. Whilst I don't think being relegated is great, I think having played for a side that were constantly battling against teams, and him still performing, because individually he performed last season. Individually he was getting huge ratings. So I like Andreas Pereira, but I think if Jose isn't going to play him, then send him out on loan. I think that's the best thing to do. Mahrez would be a good set piece specialist for us, as Lee Anders. Andreas Pereira can take set pieces. I'm not saying he's on Mahrez's level yet before anyone starts. What's going on, Stuart? Hope you're well. Abdullah says Gareth Bale? Question mark, question mark. And a few of you, like Ali, have commented, and Raf have commented on me hitting 40,000 on my personal YouTube page. So yeah, for you guys that are subscribed, I'll take this moment, because I haven't streamed on my page tonight, to say thank you very much for subscribing and helping me hit 40k. Thank you guys, you're legends. Rosal Gibbs is an option on left back. No, thank you very much. Talking about Gibbs, the next story is on an Arsenal player, and it's on Alexis Sanchez. I guess you would have guessed. I know a lot of you guys want Alexis Sanchez to join Manchester United. I wouldn't be against it, just to see the boiled piss down at the Emirates. And of course, if we sign Sanchez, like, we'll probably win the league. He'll probably have the Van Persie effect, and I fear that he could have that Van Persie effect on Manchester City as well, although their defence isn't great, which gives me a little bit of confidence that we can still pip them to it. But the Independent are reporting on the Sanchez to Manchester City stuff, about Aguero, about Sterling potentially being involved in a deal. They've bid 50 million for Sanchez today. It's been knocked back. Apparently Arsenal want a player involved in a deal too. And because of this, United have come into the equation. Independent, in their whole article, have dedicated a sentence to it, saying that he has been offered to Manchester United by intermediaries. And whilst Jose Mourinho would be interested, Alexis Sanchez's first priority is Manchester City and being reunited with Pep Guardiola, which is how I feel this will end as well. Vaporbolt says we need to make a last-ditch effort for Sanchez. And that is one thing I would say. Look, if the player's available, if Manchester City are dithering on a deal, and if we've got the money, we've obviously got the money. But if a deal can be done, then United should be at least trying to sniff around, trying to raise the price anyway for Manchester City. But he's a player that we should be after if he's not going to City, or if the deal to City isn't going through. But I think he will go to City eventually. And whilst I find it hilarious to see Arsenal absolutely crumbling, and you see players leaving left, right and centre, Sanchez going to City is worse for us than Sanchez staying at Arsenal, because Arsenal aren't going to win the league with Sanchez. Manchester City could. So as that, but Sanchez, there's been a little bit linking in with United in the Independent, which everybody has jumped on and said that and made a big thing out of it, when I don't think we really can. Would like Mahrez, but I would absolutely love Sanchez, says Charlie. Sanchez would go for more than 70 mil. In this market, it will be 90 mil, says Sebastian. F Sanchez, we have Lingard, says Louis. Get Mahrez, he is more reliable. More reliable than Sanchez? Really? Really? Don't know about that. Man City have... Oh, that's moved on. Mahrez often cuts inside, but can also put in good cross. Would be very good for our team, says Phil Rogers. I don't think he'd be a player that I would have expected to start every single game for us with the players that we've got. I don't think he's an immediate improvement on the starting 11. But what I do think from Riyad Mahrez is he gives us something that we haven't got, which is natural width. Yes, like you pointed out, he does drift in centrally, but he is more of a natural wide player than the likes of Mkhitaryan and Mata. So yeah, I can see that. And talking about Mahrez, I'll tell you where that information has come from. Sport Witness are reporting on this one at the moment, and what they're saying is Jose Mourinho wants Riyad Mahrez, and it's been reported in France. So it's been reported in a publication called SFR, who are saying that Manchester United want Riyad Mahrez. They say Jose Mourinho wanting Riyad Mahrez. But they also say in the same article, the transfer will sort itself out in the next few days, but the tendency is leaning towards Mahrez staying at Leicester an extra year. So they even contradict themselves in the same article, saying that he's not going to leave Leicester City, or it's likely that he's not. I can imagine that with Manchester United not really being in for many players, that the newspapers are going to link us with many players in the next couple of days. Whoever our opposition will be going after, they'll link us with. And of course, players like Mahrez will be linked with. I think it's totally obvious that that's going to happen. It's transfer deadline week, and as you know, it goes into silly season. Jim White's out being a knobhead with his yellow tie on and all that bullshit. I can't stand Jim White. He's like a real shit voyeur. Is it a voyeur? What they're called? Those, you know, them people that can speak to ghosts and shit. He's like one of those real shit ones. I'm hearing that Benashia's on a flight to Old Trafford. Where? What flight was he on? What flight was he on? Where's his flight gone missing? Can someone get flight tracker on that, please? Jim White's a knobhead. Don't watch Sky Sports News on deadline day, whatever you're doing. Usman says, what's my next target on my channel? It's 60k by the end of the year. Let's do it. I was going to do 50k, but let's do 60k. And talking about targets, Full-Time Devils have a target of 500k by the end of the season. So get subscribing if you're not subscribed. If you're watching this video and you're not subscribed, what are you playing at? You're watching this video. You've got this far into the video. You obviously like our content. Hit that subscribe button. We got so much more coming your way. So yeah, Mahrez linked to United. I don't think that's going to happen, but as I said, loads going to be going on. Gareth, how you doing, mate? Still shining. That's what I would hear, isn't it? A medium. That's what it is. Thank you, Benny. Thank you, Benny. Yeah, he's a real shit medium. Benashia, you know is his name? Yeah, Benatia. Mehdi Benatia. Is that his name? Am I saying it wrong? Yeah, Mehdi Benatia. He plays for Juventus at the moment. He was linked to United about 2 years ago. And Jim White said he was on a plane. Knobhead. Anyway, moving on from Jim White being a knobhead. And to Don Bellon being a knobhead. You guys know about Don Bellon. He is a knobhead. And he's got some more stories for us. And this time Daily Star have picked it up. They're not speaking about hamsters up someone's arsehole this time. They're talking about Griezmann to Manchester United. Daily Star have picked up a Don Bellon story. And I'm sure, listen, correct me if I'm wrong, I swear to God about 2 weeks ago Don Bellon said the same thing. That United were going to go back in for Griezmann soon. I swear to God they said the same thing about 2 weeks ago. I think they're making a safe bet with that one. I think they're playing a safe bet with the Griezmann stuff. They know United want him. They know Griezmann stayed because of the transfer ban. And you know that United will be back in for him at some point. I get the feeling that Jose Mourinho is going to go cold on him and be like, you fucked us over once, we're not going to go back again. I just saw someone say that they missed everything, so I'm going to recap it for you guys that did miss it. And then before I go, I'll hit up the comments. Pereira still being linked with a loan to Valencia by one publication in Spain. Everyone else is saying Jose Mourinho wants to keep a hold of him. If Jose Mourinho wants to keep a hold of him, that means he's got a plan for him in the first team. And if that's the case, I'll be delighted to see him stay at Old Trafford. If there's no plan to get him in the first team, though, and get him some minutes, then Jose should send him out on loan. The Independent today, in their article talking about Sanchez to Manchester City, put one line in there that Sanchez's or Arsenal intermediaries had spoken to United about a potential deal. That line has been used by literally everybody and span into something that it isn't. I can't see Sanchez ending up at Manchester United as much as we would like it to happen, and as much I hope it does happen in the next 48 hours. It isn't going to. SFR in France are reporting that United are after Mahrez. I think that image of Paul Pogba has done an awful lot in recent days in terms of piping up a move that was never going to happen. Agent P is whispering into Riyad Mahrez's ears. We've all seen that picture. Maybe that's playing on something. We're going to see loads of players linked to Manchester United. And of course, you heard the story about Griezmann. Don Bellon saying we will be back in for him. Anyway, guys, Dipson, I may have ignored 10 of your messages, but I saw your 11th message. How about that, mate? I'm not going to see all of your messages. There's been about 1,000, 2,000 messages since I started talking about Don Bellon being an obed. How can I read all these messages? But I saw your 11th one when you were having a moan. Imagine if that 11th one wasn't you having a moan. You wouldn't look like an obed now, would you? So, yeah, man, relax. I can't read all the rumours. See, Manib said rumours in the comments. That made me say rumours. I can't read all of the comments. Texas in the house says Drews. Mahrez says Usman. Sup Abs, what's going on? We need a proper winger, says Yassine. William is class, says Atik. Hi from South Africa, says Nikhil. Andrew J, how you doing? Manraj, how you doing? What's the little boy in Sanchez saying? Says True Reds TV, and I did tweet that the other day. It's got quite a few retweets, and it's probably going to get a few more where Manchester City do eventually sign him. Crazy Madness, thank you for your nice comment. And just like John Donahoe says, hit that like button. My Pensies, I'm not perfect. No one is, but we all strive to be. Anyway, guys, get hitting that subscribe button. 500k is on the way by the end of the season. If we don't meet that target, then Stephen Alson is getting a crackback and sack and dyeing his beard red. So we need to hit that target. That's not going to be a pretty sight. Guys, get your comments in. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I've been Adam McCullough. I'm out of here.